was under the leadership of Brother Opemsuo Sir Ajiman Prempe II. The de facto director of schools under the Presbyterian Church was Brother E.M.L. Ojija. The results of the collaboration and synergy between the two craftsmen has been a boon to young men from all over Ghana and perhaps even beyond. Their mutual respect and cohesive spirit continued even after Brother, the Right Reverend E.M.L. Ojija, became moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana for 2 sessions from 1958 to 1966. In the late 70s into the 80s, education in Asanteman continued to receive staunch support once again as a result of a productive partnership between two craftsmen. Illustrious Brother Opemsuo Opokuware II, and the then National Director of Schools and Colleges, my father, Brother Alexander Niblebo Andrews. The sublime teachings of the craft were giving practical manifestation through the quiet, mutual support of these two Masons. And once again, the beneficiaries were the youth of our country, who were provided with an excellent and affordable education to enhance our national development. The third generation from our family compound at Osu, Teshi, Kolechong, Uduma Sikrobo, and Abokubi was therefore ready to heed the call of Asanteman when a discreet request was made for medical expertise in the late 90s. Quote, "When you get to Maishia, greet your senior brother, Brother Opemsuo Opokuware, with the grip. And if he asks you, tell him who you are. Tell him about your grandpa, and extend my heartfelt fraternal greetings to him. Go, my son, and do your best for him. God, the divine architect, being your helper." Unquote. Those were the words of my father to me as I left for the airport to fly to Kumasi. And so it transpired. As soon as I offered my royal host the token, he asked his retinue to retire, and we shall leave it at that. 25 years ago, I was here at the temple at the Hujo Runabout when another royal retinue was asked to retire. Our grand patron, our now grand patron, had arrived to be initiated into the craft. The mood was tense, the air electric and fraught with expectation and high drama. But in the true tradition of Freemasonry, the monarch set aside his temporal titles and privileges to undergo the procedural steps that every craftsman in all quarters of the globe from time immemorial has endured. What followed was a moving rendition and execution of an ancient ritual to cement the awesome beauty and dignity of our gentle craft. Among the participants and primary actors that day were numerous senior and stellar brethren, many of whom have since been summoned to the Grand Lodge above. But there is no doubt that they have formed a cloud of witnesses who have assisted our Grand Patron on his Masonic journey. That day, I, a lowly master mason among the grandees, was the only craftsman in the temple wearing the ebony and ivory regalia of Achimota Lodge, the colors which, in the immortal words of Brother Dr. James Kwege Agri, also known as Agri of Africa, symbolize the brotherhood of man. So, it is providence that has brought me to the floor of Grand Lodge today to fulfill and sustain a solid tradition of quiet and fruitful cooperation between my family compound and the Asanteman dynasty. I am no disinterested observer. No. Far be from it. It is certainly not so. It is not possible. Today, our unshakable duty and responsibility is to proceed in true Masonic style, to enter the quarries with our working tools and hew stone that will enable us to construct a magnificent edifice of enlightenment and truth in the history and the symbols that surround us, to read the book of nature and through grace discern the perfect plan of the great architect of the universe. We pray that our darkness will be turned into light. Most worshipful grandpa, I once again implore you to instruct the brethren and the distinguished guests. We shall sing verse 2. Most worshipful Grandmaster, we will now look for the banyan tree and try to discover its genuine secrets. The Masonic altar remains an altar of inclusiveness and tolerance. It is an altar of freedom. On it are arranged the sacred writings of many faiths. Each brother takes his obligations according to his religious allegiance. For our brothers from the East, the sacred writings include the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. They recall that the Buddha spent 7 days in serious meditation under the banyan tree in order to gain enlightenment. That particular tree, the banyan tree, holds a special place in their faith with far-reaching and instructive symbolism and genuine secrets. That tree has long been recognized as a living altar, and a link between the past, present, and future. It grows to a gargantuan size and living for many centuries, thus connecting generations as a symbol of life, longevity, stability, growth, and vitality. The mesmerizing scale and complexity of the organic architecture has made the Banyans the tree of poets, wanderers, contemplatives, a refuge for travelers, rebels, and free thinkers, and dare I say so, Freemasons. Nearer home, the same tree holds a unique place in the history of Asanteman. Legend has it that 3 such trees were planted in 3 different locations by the sagacious priest Anoche. The one which survived became the location of the capital of Asanteman. In short, the Kum tree, which is the same as the Banyan tree, became the site of the vibrant capital, Kumasi, literally meaning under the Kum tree, or if you prefer, under the Banyan tree. The first Asantehene, Opemsuo said to the first, sat under the Kum tree in order to negotiate and acquire land for the capital of what became a powerful confederacy and a dynasty that has lasted over 300 years. Is it a surprise that the Banyan or Kum tree is known to last 500 years or more? Its roots grow down from its branches and form trunks that anchor the tree to the earth with several feet, akin to the soul that never dies nor renews. It represents the vehicle to spirituality, devoid of all materialistic urges. Not unlike the evergreen of the craft, the Banyan or Kum tree also symbolizes immortality. Our inquiries become even more interesting once we remember that the Banyan or Kum tree is also a fig tree. A fig tree. This is one of the fruit trees named in several of the sacred writings as being present in paradise. From Genesis to the book of Revelation, there are over 40 verses devoted to the fig tree and its potent symbolism. Several of the parables of the Galilean master refer to the Kum or fig tree. Certain spiritual traditions regard the fig tree as the tree of knowledge. Others regard it as the tree of life. In our present epoch, where we are threatened with mass extinctions, it is pertinent for us to remember that the Banyan, Kum or fig tree is known to sustain over 1,000 bird and mammal species. We are gathered here today under the Banyan, Kum or fig tree, or simply put, at Kumasi, to honor a revered and illustrious brother, most worshipful brother Opemsuo II. Armed with a fair understanding of the history and spiritual symbolism of the Kum tree, let us now turn our attention to how our stalwart and zealous brother has fulfilled over the last 25 years its potent attributes in making himself an exemplar of and an ornament to our ancient craft. There is much to discover. There is much to savor. And there is much to emulate. Most worshipful Grandmaster, I once again implore you, I ask the brethren and the distinguished guests to please be upstanding and let us sing the third verse.